Hello everyone, welcome once again to our class. So today we will be discussing JavaScript operators. We'll discuss arithmetic operators, assignment operators, and comparison operators. We have the list of operators we'll be displaying on the screen. So let's start with arithmetic operators. First of all, we'll create variables in which we will store values and try to use these operators. So let's create our first variable using the let method. Let a equals 4 and let b equals 4. So now we created two variables. The first is a number stored in the variable a, and the next is a string stored in variable b. So let's try to make use of these operators. So now let's create a third operator. A third variable, let's see equals a. Okay, let's do plus b. So console.log console log c. So let's see, Control S. So we created a variable a in which we stored the number 4, and we created another variable b in which we stored the string 4. So, and we try to use the first operator, arithmetic operator, the plus sign, to join a and b. Because b is not a number but a string, it's not going to solve a plus b as an arithmetic. Rather, it's going to join them. This process is called concatenation. So let's see the results. Okay, let's go to HTML and preview. So as you can see, the result here is 44 instead of 4 plus 4, which should give us 8. What it did is to just join the first number to the string 4, because the variable b is not containing a number. Variable b is not containing a number, rather it's containing a string, so it's not performing an arithmetic function on it. So let's delete the apostrophe and save again, Ctrl S, and let's see. This time we expect, as you can see, it mathematically operates and calculates 4 plus 4. So let's use the next variable, minus. We are expecting a 0 since we have numbers there, a 0. Okay, let's see what minus would give us as a string. So if we minus a number from a string, let's a string from a number, let's see what it's going to give us. Still 0. Control S. Let's go back and see. It still gave us 0. Okay, so we've talked about the addition and subtraction operators. Let's look at the multiplication operator, which is the star. As you can see, it's going to give us 4 times 4. We're expecting a 16. Now let's do the double star. This is more like raised to power, so it is 4 raised to power 4, which should be 16 times 16, and that should give us, let's see, 256. Now the next operator is the division operator. So let's try it. Ctrl S. We're expecting a 1. Yeah, and then the last operator, not the last, sorry, the modulus operator, is also called the remainder operator. So let's see, we're expecting a 0 because 4 divided by 4 would give us 0 remainder. So we're expecting a 0. Let's see, a 0. Okay. The last two operators are the decrement and in the increment and decrement operators. The double plus sign is the increment operator, and the double minus sign is the decrement operators, which we are going to use when we will be treating loops, when we're discussing how to loop through an array. So we'll move on to the next set of operators, which are the assignment operators. So we'll have to copy this one more time. Let's cut it out. Control X, and we'll paste here. Tab, Control V. Okay. Okay, let's tab. Thank you. Control S. Now we have the assignment operator. The first one, the equal sign, simply assigns the integer 4 to a variable a. So that's why it's called the assignment operator. The next one, plus equals. Okay, let's go. Plus equals is the same thing as a plus 4. Same thing as a equals a plus 4. It's exactly the same thing, but we are not going to be using this. So it's just a description. So a plus equals 4 means a equals a plus 4. So if we console.log console.log a, console.log a, Control S, we should, let's see what it gives us. 8, because it takes this 4 and makes it it puts it in as this in place of this a here, and it goes 4 plus 4 here is equals to 8. So let's change this to 5. Okay, to 2. So what this a plus equals 2 means is a equals a plus 2, and a, remember, a here is 4, so that should give us a 6. The same thing for minus. A minus, okay, let's use the minus equals 2, takes the value of a and subtract it from 2, so that will give us 4 minus 2 here. Control S. A minus equals 2 is the same thing as this illustration here. A equals a minus 2, and it gives us, we expect it to give us 2. So here we have it. So same thing goes for multiplication equals. It takes a and multiplies it by 2, storing back the value into a. So if we console.log a, it will get 8. Let's check. 8. And same thing happens with the division, the remainder, the modulus. The remainder will give us a 0 because 4 divided by 2 will give us a 0, and the raised to power will give us a 16 because a, which is 4, raised to power 2 will give us a 16. So let's move on to the next operator. The comparison operators are used to compare two values. Let's go Ctrl Z to get back the values we had displayed before and try to compare them. Okay, Ctrl Z once more, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Good, I think, no, Ctrl Y. Okay, I think we can use these values here. So let's cut it out and place in the. Now we have our comparison operators. First we have the double equal sign. So let's make, since we have a equals 4 and b equals 4, let's make b a string back. Let's make b a string back, and let's do Ctrl S. So we have 4, number 4 saved into A, and string 4 saved into B. Let's try to see, let's use the first comparison operators, which is the double equal sign, and see if it will give us what it means. Okay, the double equal sign compares two values, but doesn't necessarily compare their type. For example, we have two values here, A and 4. They are actually the same values, but they are of different type. So C, it's going to save A, it's going to compare A and B without comparing their type. So it's going to just see that both of them are false, and so by the time we console.log C, they're expecting a true. So let's see what it gives us. It gives us a true, because it doesn't recognize their type. It just sees them to be 4. However, if we use triple equal sign, the triple equal sign compares the values and compares their type. So let's console.log. Let's save and console.log C. Once again, it's going to give us false, because it recognizes that even though both of them are false, one is a number and the other is a string, so they are not of the same type. The two equal sign just compares the value without comparing the data type. However, the three equal sign compares both the value and the data type. So now let's use the third operator. When we see the exclamation mark with an equal sign, it's just to tell us that not equal to. So this just simply tells us that we're asking, is A not equal to B, without comparing the data type. It's going to tell us false, because it sees A to be equal to B, because it doesn't recognize that they are of different data type. So let's save and check. It's going to tell us false, because it's seen A to be equal to B. Now, however, if we put double equal sign with the exclamation mark, now it's not just comparing the values, it's comparing the data type. It's going to tell us true, that A is not equal to B. Remember, the exclamation mark is for not equal, and when we use the exclamation mark with this single equal sign, it's supposed to tell us is A not equal to B. It told us false, because it's not seeing the difference in their data type. It's telling us false, because it's expecting that A is equals to B, since both of them have the same value 4, 4, and not seeing their data type. But in this case, it's comparing both the value and the data type, so it's going to tell us true, that A is not equal to B, because they are of different data type. True. So next we have the greater than and less than sign, which is common in basic mathematics. Is A greater than B? Definitely. Let's see what it's going to tell us. S. False. A is not greater than B, because it's recognizing their values and not necessarily the data type. A is not greater than B. Neither will A be less than B. Ctrl S. False. We are going to skip greater than or equals to. It's still comparison. It's check whether it's either greater than or it's equal to a particular value, and the next one, less than or equals to, still compares, checking if it's either less than or equal to another value. Next, we'll move into the ternary operator, which is the one with the question mark. The ternary operator is actually used to replace if-else statements. We will treat if-else statements in depth, and while we'll treat the ternary operator in depth when treating the if-else statement, probably in our next video. However, in this video, we will just make basic description of the ternary operator. So the ternary operator, which is the question mark, is used to replace or to function just like the if else statement or the conditional statement. And here's how we use it. Now we have a variable for saved in A, so we are going to create another variable. Now the good thing about the ternary operator is that it can be saved into a variable, unlike the if else statements, which we can't necessarily really save into a variable. But ternary operator does the same thing that if else statements can do, and can be saved into into a variable, not an operator. I hope I'm not making and contradicting myself. So the ternary operator can perform the same function of an if else statement and be saved into a variable. We are going to talk about if else statements, functions, and looping through arrays in further videos to come. So let's create a variable. Let's call the variable check. Let's check if A. So the first input would be the condition which carries the ternary operator. Let's say is A greater than, let's say, greater than 5. Now we'll put the operator. So if next we'll put in our truthy value. So if A is greater than 5, it's going to display this the first value that we are going to put in now. So let's say if it's greater than 5, we'll say yes. Then we'll put in our false value. If A is not greater than 5, we'll say we expect it to display a no. So we close the command and save. So now if we console.log, A, if we console.log checker, we are logging in our checker, console.log check. Because we have we've declared A, we've declared A to contain the variable 4. It's going to check if A is greater than 5. We expect it to give us a no because A is not greater than 5. A is 4. So let's see what it's going to give us. It's going to give us a no. You see it has a no. So let's go back and make this, is A greater than 3? We expect it's going to give us a yes. A yes. So this is the ternary operator. So that's all for JavaScript operators. See you in our next class.